Let's talk about something we've all felt. That moment when one single tiny misstep feels like a complete and utter disaster. But what if I told you that if you look at it the right way, that little failure can actually become one of your most powerful tools for growth? Come on, you know that feeling, right? You've got a plan, you're all fired up, and then one little thing goes wrong. And just like that, poof, all your motivation just vanishes, and the rest of the day feels like a total write-off. Well, if you've been there, trust me, you are not alone. To really get what's going on here, let's dive into the story of a runner named Koro. This guy is passionate, he's super dedicated, and he sets these incredibly high standards for himself. And, well, he just recently slammed right into that wall of frustration. Okay, so Koro's goal was pretty ambitious. He wanted to run 100 kilometers every single week. That's about 62 miles, by the way, a massive commitment that takes some serious, constant discipline. So how do you do? Here's the result. He ran 92.8 kilometers. Now, let's be real. For most of us, that would be an incredible achievement. He was only short by about 7 kilometers. I mean, objectively, that's a fantastic week. But that's not how Koro saw it. Not at all. And this is where the psychology gets so interesting. Despite running a huge distance, that small gap made him frame the entire week as a failure. That feeling of falling just a little bit short completely wiped out the massive accomplishment he'd actually made. So we have to dig into the why. What really happened here? See, the real issue wasn't the 7.2-kilometer gap. That was just the symptom. The real problem, the actual thing that caused the whole collapse, was something much, much smaller. It was a classic domino effect. It all started with just a little bit of procrastination one morning. That led to a late start, which totally threw off his mental game. Then his pace just fell apart, and he ended up stopping after less than 2 kilometers. One tiny delay, and it triggered a total collapse. And this tells you something really important about Koro's personality. For people like him, being on time, sticking to the plan is everything. Even a 1-minute delay can completely disrupt his focus and kill his momentum. The routine isn't just some schedule. It's literally the foundation of his performance. But this is where the story takes a turn. That moment of failure, that awful, frustrating run where he had to stop, it led to this profound realization. He realized the problem wasn't the run itself. It was his system. Wow. I mean, that is such a raw and honest thing to admit. In that moment, he saw his own vulnerability. He realized that without a strong, disciplined system in place, his motivation and his performance were just incredibly fragile. He wasn't failing his goal. His system was failing him. And that just reframes everything, doesn't it? The problem wasn't the final number on the board. The true failure was the lack of a system tough enough to stop a small slip-up from derailing the whole train. He didn't need more willpower, he needed a better framework. So what did he do? That realization spurred him into action. Instead of just trying to be better, he decided to completely rebuild his approach from the ground up. He moved away from vague intentions and started creating concrete, non-negotiable rules. Just look at the difference here. His old rules were kind of fuzzy, run 100 km a week. But the new rules, they are specific and you can't argue with them. A minimum of 30 km on Sunday, a minimum of 14 km on weekdays. This takes away all the guesswork. Success isn't about how he feels anymore. It's just about executing the plan. And why go through all this trouble to create such a strict structure? Because these rules aren't random. They are all serving a much bigger, much more ambitious purpose: to run a marathon in under 3 hours. Knowing that gives every single one of those rules a powerful sense of meaning. And this leads us to a really core philosophical shift in how we should all think about personal rules. It's about moving away from this idea of restriction and towards a mindset of empowerment. This is the new mindset right here. Rules aren't a prison that's designed to hold you back. They are a foundation that you build for yourself, a support structure to hold you up, especially on those days when you feel weak or unmotivated. So let's break that down. First, rules create a crystal clear structure to hit a big goal, like that sub-3-hour marathon. Second, they act as a foundation, a safety net, to protect you from your own weak spots, like procrastination. And finally, they become a deliberate step-by-step path to build real strength and discipline over time. Okay, so this is all great for Koro, but how do we actually apply this? How can you take this same mindset and use it in your own life? Well, it all comes down to a really simple but powerful action plan. Here's the framework. It's just 3 steps. First, you have to acknowledge the failure. I mean, really look it in the eye, don't just brush it off. Second, you extract the lesson. Dig deep and ask yourself why it really happened. And third, and this is the most important part, you have to courageously apply that lesson. That means actually doing the work to build a better, stronger system for yourself. And let's be really clear about this. The goal here is not to become perfect. It's not about never failing again, because that's impossible. The goal is to see every single failure, no matter how small, as a piece of data. It's a clue that's showing you exactly what you need to do to succeed next time. So I'll leave you with this question. Think about your day, or maybe your week. What's one small setback you've had recently? And more importantly, what's the lesson from it? And what system can you build from that lesson to make yourself stronger for tomorrow?